Yo, what up people? Leah here from Creative Tech Lab. Today we're talking about white balance, how to set a custom white balance or go through your other white balance settings in your Sony camera. Let's get into it. But first and foremost, as usual, just a little bit of manners. Welcome to Creative Tech Lab. My name is Leo. This is probably your first time here. If it is, all I ask is that you stick around, give the video a chance, and then if you do, you know what to do with all the little buttons them down below. Big up to the 3,800 people that have decided to rock with us. I am always humbled when you guys take the chance and go down there and subscribe. It means a lot to me. 3,800 is a small YouTube channel, but it's not a small amount of people, at least in my mind. So I would like to start off every single video by just giving a big up to those people. But white balance is what we're here to talk about today, specifically how to set a custom white balance. Now, your white balance is something that a lot of people, particularly when you're beginning, you don't necessarily think about. You kind of just let the camera do its thing with auto white balance. And auto white balance is cool if the scene is going to be changing a lot and you don't remember to check your white balance. But if you want to get those crispy cinematic looking shots, setting your white balance is really important, specifically on some of your Sony Alpha cameras, because most of them, except for the new A7S III, is 8-bit. And when it is that you do have to color correct and push the colors around, because you don't have that much data with the data rates that you get with the 8-bit, and sometimes we're looking at about 100 or 50 megabits per second, your image can start to fall apart really quickly. I find that it's really important, particularly on something like S-Log on the A7 III or on the A6400. All right, so I'm going to show you on the A6400 because I'm shooting on the A7 III. It's a little bit different on each camera. I'll throw the B-roll up of what it looks like on the A7 III there as well. However, we want to go into menu. On the first camera folder, we want to scroll down to page 11 and you're going to get white balance. You see here, I have mine set to auto. Now, the first couple of settings are the white balance presets that you could use to film there. So you have daylight, you have shade if you go into the shade, you have cloudy, incandescent is good for inside when it is that you're shooting. And then you have a couple of ones which are like a warm white, you have your cool white. These are just different settings, day white, to just make sure you could nail it properly there. There's also an underwater white balance if you shoot underwater with a casing. I'm not at that level yet. All right, so two ways you can do this here. You have temperature, Kelvin or whatever. If it is that you're looking and you want to just kind of do this by eye, or if you're using a light like this, I'm using the Godox SL60W, and you know that's daylight balance at around 5500. You could just come in here and set the temperature. If you know your temperature has changed, or if you're in a lighting situation when your temperature has changed, you could actually just set the temperature there, or you could come over here to this color grid here and you could change the colors as you need to. And that's one way to set a custom white and white balance. You could look in your scene and see what is white and change it around, either using the temperature slider or using that color grid there. But what I have started doing now, just to make sure I nail it properly, and before we jump into the camera, let's jump into here, is I have some gray cards. So now I walk around with these everywhere that I go. You see it has a gray card, a black card, and a white card. And the reason why this is important, because it actually sets, this is actually true white and this is a true gray to set on your camera there. All right, so once I have my scene set up, I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna scroll down to custom. I'm going to scroll right over and you're going to see it has a Kelvin number there and it says set. If you hit set, it gives you this little circle. You're going to look at the circle in the middle, position the gray card or white card right there, press the button, it snaps a picture and it gives you the white balance data, and it will tell you 5500 and it does its custom settings there, and that way you can know that you really nailed your white balance. A little bit different on the A7 III. If you actually see the custom settings there, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see the same thing that says set. You do that, same thing, you'll get the little circle, put up the white card or gray card, snap a picture of it, then the camera will set your custom settings there. And now, whenever it is that you need to adjust your white balance, you can either use some of those presets, or if you know that you're in the same exact lighting situation, let's say you set it for a scene like this, but then you need to stop and go shoot some B-roll somewhere else, Now you could come back here and it will actually be saved to that one. You could just set it again and you know that you always have that there if it's something that you shoot over and over again, or if it's something that you're going to be continuously changing in and out of a couple of different scenes. You could save 3 different custom white balance scenes there in your custom settings. And yeah, so it's that easy, it's that simple. Not a long video today, but I do want to stress that it is very important that you set your white balance when it is that you're shooting something cinematic and you don't want to change it that much. At the bare minimum, even if you let the camera do auto white balance, if it is that you're going to be in a similar lighting situation, let's say that you're vlogging, go ahead and lock it so it's not always changing. That way it's a lot easier for you to color correct when it is that you have your white balance set there. And again, when it is that you're shooting S-Log or you're using something with a high contrasty scene, or you do need to change stuff, you don't want to have to be pulling and pushing the colors around too much before it is that you even get into your color grade, because I think that's when your images really start to break apart there. At least I know for me, when I'm shooting S-Log, that's a big thing there. Probably do a separate video on that on S-Log as well. I know a lot of people ask me about my A6400 18:105 city cinematic there. Link up here. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but people ask why that looks so crisp. And that's because I actually used one of the custom presets I was using between shade and cloudy there just to set the scene of the day, and the scene came out really good. Love the way that color grade came out and the way those city shots came out. So little pro tip there from me, set your custom white balance and make sure you nail that. Anyway, no need to ramble on. If this video helps you out in any way, shape or form, please go ahead, hit the good thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. We have a lot more Sony content here to come. Please B&H, go ahead and ship up my A7S III. But in the meantime, we've been talking a lot about the A6400 and a lot of different lens combinations. So you don't want to miss out on any of those things. And I will catch you in the next video. Big up yourself. Peace.